Hello Divine Lovelies and welcome to my video. Welcome to Shelter for My Soul. Something a little bit different for me if you're familiar with my other videos such as the current energy ones. I just felt drawn to do something a little bit different, to kind of create these discussion starter videos. That's really what they're about here. Just me kind of sharing my thoughts and feelings on various subjects from my understanding and my experience. This video in particular will be about celebrity twin flames, and I just as you're watching this, I just want it to be like we are just kind of sitting around in a circle, or on Zoom, however you want to imagine it, and then it's just my turn to talk. I have the talking stick, and I'll just share with you what I feel I need to, and then that definitely that definitely creates an opening for discussion if there's anything you'd like to share with me. Also, feel free to suggest any topics connected to twin flames, divine love, things in that kind of spiritual sphere that you would like me to cover. Yeah, definitely open to suggestions because I haven't thought of anything past this one. This is like the test pilot, and we're just going to see how this goes, hopefully well, and if I enjoy it, and yeah, and I feel it's something I can continue to do. I hope so. I'll try not to make this introduction too long because I feel there is a lot to cover. I'm just looking down. I don't usually have notes. I just have a few kind of prepared here. Just going to keep me on track. It could be one video. It could be there could need to be another part. It could be 2-part or 3-part. I don't know. Just kind of open to that. I don't really want to cover things that have been mentioned in other, for example, videos or in other resources about celebrity twin flames. Of course, there's going to be some crossover, and I think to start off with, I know there'll be something quite generalized, but I just kind of want to narrow it down to things, yeah, really based on yeah, just my kind of thoughts and feelings, and also drawing on my experiences. Yeah, what I feel is important to kind of get out there. Yeah, I don't know, others may have covered this, but these particular things, but I just haven't come across them. So what do I mean by celebrity twin flames? What's that? For the purpose of this particular video, what I'm referring to is a twin flame dynamic, a couple in which one is a celebrity and one is a non-celebrity. Yeah, I don't really like that term non-celebrity, but I'm not really sure what else to call it, to call them. But most likely I will be using the terms divine masculine and divine feminine in this video, because they're kind of my comfortable phrases. And the celebrity counterpart I will be referring to as divine masculine, or he, and the non-celebrity counterpart I'll be referring to as the divine feminine, or she. Just because that's, in my experience, my understanding, that's the most common scenario, the most common dynamic that I'm aware of. So it's just a little bit easier for me, and I know you twin flames are very good at switching and doing a bit of role reversal there, because you're all comfortable with your masculine and feminine sides. So if you need to do that, then I trust you can do that. Okay, so the time's getting on. So to start off with, I'm gonna just bring in a statement that's, I guess it's quite a common fear, if you want to call it a fear statement, that most divine feminines who are in this dynamic have come across at some stage, from some angle, but it's quite an important one. So to kick off, this is the statement. So it's, he cannot be my twin flame because he is a celebrity. That pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? That is something something we've all had to deal with. I thought I was kind of immune to this, but as I was leading up to this video, I had to kind of do a bit of my own work, kind of delving in and kind of doing a bit of clearing and processing and understanding in order to be able to speak about this. It wasn't something that I was expecting to do a video on, kind of came out of the blue, but obviously meant to be. And I'll explain how, I think I came at it from a slightly different angle, and I'll explain that in a minute. But first of all, I just want to say about this particular statement. He cannot be my twin flame because he's a celebrity. This statement, actually, these words have no weight to them at all. It's very flimsy. It's very transparent. It actually means nothing. In the same way that the term celebrity means nothing really. Of course it means something, but it has no weight, and it has really no. It's not really describing someone. It's not really someone's title. It's not prime minister. It's not lead guitarist. It's executive producer. I just came across it and I was just like, what is this that is really terrifying everyone? Like a rabbit in the headlights, just blinding, and just divine feminines not being able to move past this. And I just kind of realized this is just something, it's actually completely transparent and very kind of flimsy and fake. I just could picture myself just written on a piece of paper and just tearing it up and just like how is this having such a huge impact on so many people? And I think it's one of those fears that is blown up kind of out of proportion. It's used, whichever dark powers, I don't know exactly which one, have decided to kind of put this at the forefront of our attention. Getting to the point, it's blocking what the real fears and issues are, the ones that we really need to get deep into and work on in order to move towards our beloved counterparts and union. It's blocking, just getting in there to the real, to the real dark roots down there of what is really causing these fears and anxieties and feelings of being crazy and all these sorts of things. I know it's not a one size fits all with all these twin flame dynamics, but I think there are a lot of commonalities, especially with divine feminine non-celebrities. So that's what I think of that. I should have made a prop, actually, just ripping that up. Okay, so kind of I'm not sure what you personally may need to do, but I was able to get past this. But I was able to kind of go a bit deeper and look at what the kind of main issue has been for me. I'll talk about it in kind of a present tense. I mean, it's a circle, isn't it? Like, you think you've dealt with it, and so there's something jabbing into my arm. You think you've dealt with it, left in the past, but then it comes back to bite you in the bum soon enough. So I'll talk about most things in present tense. It just kind of helps things flow a bit easier. But I mean, I actually thought that when I discovered twin flames and started kind of on my journey with an understanding, and obviously I need to explore and find out what this is all about. I thought all twin flame dynamics were with one celebrity and one non-celebrity. I thought it's just how it was for everybody, and I was quite surprised to find out that wasn't always the case. Discovering that my twin flame was a celebrity didn't surprise me at all. I would be surprised if he wasn't. That's something that I kind of always thought and felt. It perhaps at the time, you know, I perhaps wasn't in a particular place, you know, where what am I trying to say? I was in the kind of place where I was surprised about who it was. That's what I'm trying to say. Very extremely surprised. Of course, it was a pleasant surprise. Don't get me wrong, but my attention was kind of elsewhere, and it was just right in front of me and really extremely obvious. Anyway, that's another video for another time. But yeah, for me, my twin flame being a celebrity hasn't been a real issue. If I was to change this statement to he cannot be my twin flame because he is successful. Now that triggers a few deep dark thoughts there. So for me, that's something that I do have to deal with, especially being successful career-wise in a creative performing arts career. That's been a hurdle at times. For those who don't know me, I'm also a performer and entertainer. But I don't feel that I have succeeded really in anything in my life, let alone my creative career. I feel pretty much like a failure. I don't really feel that I have really achieved the goals that I thought I would by now. I definitely don't have the recognition, accolades that I feel I deserve. I honestly, in the kind of, if you want to say just call it the performing arts world, or entertainment, or can narrow it down to kind of burlesque, I still feel like a tourist. I don't really feel like I belong there or know what I'm doing, and that's pretty much why there's more fear in that kind of statement, that kind of statement for me. So I think, well, why would anyone who is successful, especially, I definitely don't have any any money or wealth or anything material to show for it. And yeah, so I feel, why would someone who is extremely successful in their career, worked very hard, you know, has prestige and legions of fans and lots of cash in the bank, yeah, why would someone successful want to be in a relationship with me, you know, get married, build a life with me, let alone be my twin flame? You know, so that's where I'm coming from. That's kind of my angle for that fear statement. It feels a little bit like a therapy session, doesn't it? But that's cool. That's if this brings healing to people, that's the whole point. That's why I'm doing this. So let me just refer to my notes. Okay, I think and I mean, another fear that I'm aware of, again, I'm not sure, I'm sure there's some element here, but when I kind of just talk about it generally, it doesn't really shake me too much. But I think it's something for Divine Feminines with a celebrity counterpart, that they will find something in this. But I'll just explain it in a way that I think everyone can relate to. So we're not we're considered kind of non-celebrities, nobodies, whatever now, but I'm not sure how far along the path will be before we come into our 3D relationships. But we're not going to stay non-celebrity after we enter into 3D relationships. That whole there's going to be a huge shift there. We're not going to be hiding in the corners anymore. We're going to be up there on equal footing in the or if you want to say on the stage, on the red carpet, with the spotlight on us. It can be doing exactly the same thing as your beloved. It can be collaborating with them. You may have the exact same interest. You know, I mean, I'm saying like creative interest, but I think most celebrity DMs, from what I understand, are in the creative arts. But again, of course, switch it if it's something else. You know, if it's politics, science, or sports. You know, you can do it. I know you're quite capable. It can be doing something exactly the same, or it could be whatever your your passion, your calling may be. I know that a lot of us, you know, have been trying very hard. I know it's not just me, for many years, to shape some sort of career, and it just feels like we've come across so many blocks on that road. Most of us are just in survival mode, just trying to get through each day, put a roof over our heads, and kind of the basics. We have to deal with a lot of turbulence in the 3D, a lot of pretty much extreme situations, a lot of abuse, a lot of dysfunctional, toxic relationships and environments. It feels like our time is always needed elsewhere. It just, yeah, just when will be the time for us? That's pretty much how we feel. Just as well as our spiritual work, which is 24/7, and I mean, in a way that is for ourselves, but it's for can be for our twin. It can be, helping others. But I think you know what I mean. It's just being able to just just get away, escape, just all kind of unnecessary burdens, responsibilities. Just just kind of spend your day doing what you want to do. I mean, again, it's not a one size fits all. There could be many reasons that that we're kind of being held back. I think it's it's just along our path we kind of see the things that we kind of need to overcome, and it'll kind of keep popping. They'll keep popping back up. Until we've kind of done our work, defeated our demons, or however you like to describe it. And your twin does have exactly the same kind of path in that respect, and like, okay, so think about this scenario. Sorry, you finally in 3D have a date with your beloved. You get talking. He wants to know all about you. What have you been doing? What are your dreams? What are your ambitions? What are your what do you want to do? What do you want to do with your life? What are you trying to achieve? And you say something like, oh well, actually, I'm working like 3 jobs. It's like 3 waitressing jobs, and I would really love to be an actress on stage at the West End, but I just don't have enough money for acting classes. I don't kind of have the time. It's not going to be like a sob story, but I think you know what I mean. And he's like, oh wow, that's really amazing. I bet you'd be really great at that. Compliments. How do you accept anyone, let alone the person that you admire more than anyone, the person you want to be, whose opinion you value, who is a celebrity. I mean, we can't kind of ignore that fact. I'm sure there's going to, as well as the oh my god, this is finally happening, and kind of the physical and emotional attraction. It's still going to be you're still going to be a little bit starstruck, and how do you accept kind of those kind of compliments? Just kind of think about that. And then the next thing, the next day, whatever, he calls you and he's like, you know what? I made some calls, and I have this mate who's an agent, and he's quite happy to meet with you and have a chat. I've arranged you guys to meet up in a cafe later today. Can you do that? And also I thought you might be interested in my other mate is shooting his new music video, and he was saying I really need this this kind of female lead, to kind of play out the story. And I suggested you because I thought you would be perfect. How do you kind of cope with that coming at you like all of a sudden? And how does that make you feel? How do you accept this? You know, do you feel, yeah, what are you kind of feeling with that? I mean, this is something that's that is going to happen, again, related to your situation. So yeah, what work do we need to do into, you know, into in preparation for this? It's something that, you know, that could be quite frightening, the thought of this, and that is something that I don't really like the term kind of blocking. I don't really think twin flames block each other. It's just, you know, are these fears standing in the way? Are you projecting those onto your twin flame? And the fact that he's a celebrity, someone who's able to provide you with not only, you know, the ultimate ultimate love and companionship and the kind of that kind of thing, but also kind of provide you with, like, across the board with not only that, but to help you on your career path and your creative path, and yes, your spiritual path as well, and just to have things kind of just happen, you know, quite so easily. That's kind of what I'm imagining. It's something that's just so so the opposite of kind of what we've been going through until now. Like, nothing at all has been kind of easy. I'm not saying that there won't be some kind of difficulties along the way, but that's something I think is important to think about. And there's another, I'll just kind of drop in one more situation. I don't want this video to be too long. I may make two. There's this idea, I don't know where it comes from, just something that is kind of occasionally buzzes around, that celebrities don't date fans, don't enter into relationships with fans. Again, I don't know where it comes from or who's actually said it. I know this, I think that back in the 90s, like, boy bands might have said that. And I think that's something that I have also heard kind of recently, perhaps mentioned to me. I can't think of the exact source. And to go along with this, there's the kind of warning. Again, it's something I think I've heard someone mention to me. I don't know exactly the context, but don't act like a fan. These are things that I'm not really sure where it comes from, but I think in essence it's about kind of separation and I'm going to try a long word here, compartmentalizing. Like it's more to do with the celebrity, the famous person themselves. Possibly people in the entertainment industry started this. I definitely don't think it's something that kind of fans have started, unless they're kind of like jealous fans who just want to, they don't date any fans except me or something like that. It's a kind of I know there always used to be, you know, show business has kind of evolved over the past 100 years in different ways, but there always used to be very much a separation of the celebrity, the famous person kind of up here, and the fans kind of down here, but also the, very little interaction, and apart from if they were, of course, paying money to see a show or go to the movies or whatever. And that Hollywood very much, if we want to use Hollywood example, but it was across the board, even into the music industry in the 60s, 70s, 80s, very much dictating what image was presented, what information was allowed to be shared about the star. There were even arranged marriages, back in the early days of Hollywood, who, it's all about making money. It's all about controlling, controlling their pay packet, basically. Who was the star, the celebrity, and there is actually a lot I could say about that, but I'll just try and keep it a bit short. And perhaps there is an element that I think kind of with boy bands. I mean, the fans are quite crazy. Perhaps it was some protection for the guys themselves. If the fans actually actually had some idea that that they may be on in the guy's little black book. I can't. I mean, I'm sure that there were loads that kind of tried. Anyway, and just ignore that. And it could be another thing that the stars themselves perhaps would never be really sure if someone actually wanted to be with them for them, or just for their kind of celebrity status, or this illusion of kind of who they are. But as we know, things have evolved a bit, and there's a lot more kind of interaction and accessibility, especially to those who are famous. But I feel that there is some elements in this that it is about, if you want to say it comes from the industry, the dark side of the industry, those who want to control and manipulate their celebrity. Just keeping them separate and in kind of a state of fear, perhaps, about fans as well. Keeping them separate from someone who perhaps truly understands them, truly appreciates them, is going to give them positive feedback on what they're producing, who's going to really on a deep level appreciate what they're doing, as an artist, but also as a person. Perhaps someone who's not connected to this kind of dark side of the industry, or somehow on that vibration, will be trying to build, is supporting them, caring for them, building up their self-esteem, helping them with their confidence, because we know a lot of it doesn't matter how famous you are, most performing artists, celebrities still have all these insecurities. Perhaps saying, you know what, I don't think that project is actually really good for you. I think you seem really exhausted. I don't think it's really time for you to take on another movie. Maybe you should just have a rest. Or there's this other or you have that other script for that kind of independent role that's not going to make you as much money as this kind of blockbuster, and it's kind of much more creative and, you know, a much more interesting role, and won't take as much time out of your schedule. And I really think this is something you could do, even though you've never done that before. You know, I think perhaps you should move away from that management, because they don't have your best interests at heart. Doesn't have to be a fan to bring this idea in, but I think it's someone who, if they weren't a fan before, would be, you know, would soon be their number one fan as an artist, and as and them as a person, and just, you know, taking pride in, if we just kind of go back a bit, kind of less general, to Twin Flames. You know, taking, you know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, whether you've heard of them before, discovered your connection, or didn't, that doesn't matter. If you were there, you know, the number one on the fan club list, whatever, that's absolutely fine. There's nothing, there's kind of, again, no one size fits all with that. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with being immensely proud of what your divine masculine has achieved, whether you're together or not, and kind of being involved in that, and sharing that with whoever you want to share that with. He's projecting, he's putting it out there for a reason. He's projecting this for a reason, because he wants to reach you. It's not just for the hell of it. It's such, I think it's such a beautiful, profound way that he's trying to connect with you, and get to you, get right deep in there, and he's, you know, perhaps without realizing, perhaps he has, you know, he's been he's really had to work hard to get to the place where he can create these things, and can get them on a kind of you know, kind of yeah, on a global, I want to say, like, on a global stage. I think, you know what I mean, like, get it out to the, you know, all the corners of the world, as many different platforms as possible, so that it can, you know, it can reach you. And he's also your, you know, he's also your mirror. I mean, if you kind of don't like what creatively he's rejecting, you don't have to love everything. You can say, well, maybe this isn't as good as that thing, but if there's something you feel uncomfortable about observing, listening to, you know, reading, whatever it is, then I think that it's something within you that you don't like reflected back to you. Just checking the time. Okay. I was going to talk a little bit about fans, but I think think I'm going to leave this video there. I may do a second part, and it's also getting dark. I think I may do a second part to this. I'm not sure if I'll do it straight after or another time after this one's been out there, and I can hopefully get a bit of feedback from you. So thank you so much if you've been watching the whole thing, and I'm so glad I finally did this. I actually tried a few times, like started and stopped, and it just didn't kind of feel right. But I was determined to keep going. Yeah, which is, I would normally give up quite quickly, so that's interesting. But I really believe in this project, so I wanted to give it my all. I wanted it to be as good as it can possibly be. So I hope that comes across. And yes, so until next time, lovelies, take care and love your beautiful divine masculines, and go watch something after this that he's in, and I will see you all soon.